And good afternoon from Champagne Cajun Tours. This is the Cajun Swamp Tours in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we are at the swamp. I think it's called Lake Martin. And we're getting ready to do a gator tour. So beautiful here. The swamp is beautiful.
Does it get water? No. Probably the deepest is about 9 feet. Don't even ask me where to find that 9 foot. Alright guys, I'll give you a little history about the lake and everything that we're about to see. All these random trees right here, it's all cypress trees. To the right and to the left, a bunch of younger ones. If you look toward the front corner of my boat, that's cypress trees on that little island. And that's how the root system grows. It's just a big tangled root ball. They call that cypress knees. So Lake Martin was originally formed naturally over 2,500 years ago when the Mississippi River was on a more westernly track than it is now. And in 1951, they wrapped the whole 900-acre perimeter of Lake Martin with a levee system. Now it's under controlled engineering, things of that nature. There's a dam on the north side and a flume system of gates on the south side to control the level of the water. So, it's about that. These cypress trees can grow anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 years old. Yeah, a really long time. And through the course of their life cycle, they can contain anywhere from... They can hold anywhere from 500 to 1,250 gallons worth of water weight while they're alive. You look out to the front, far down the lane, side of my boat, y'all gonna see how it opens up. That's the open lake. That's comprised of about 250 acres. Now the water depth in that area can range anywhere from 6 to 9 feet. Everything on the perimeter coming in this direction is all swamp, cypress swamp. 90% of the trees in here are going to be cypress. About 7 to 8% are tupelo gum trees, and the rest willows and a mixture of other little random trees. But swamp terrain is about 600 to 650 acres. And in this swampy area, which swamp simply means flooded forest, the depth of the water is going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 feet. 2 in some spots. I'm going to try not to hit those spots. You look off in the left and the right, you're going to see a bunch of gray moss, which is called Spanish moss. It got its name from a old Spanish conquistador that had a long, scruffy beard. His last name was Moss, and the name kind of stuck. It resembled his beard from his guys that left Spain and came to settle this territory in America. And the name just stuck. They have 2 sexes, male and female in cypress trees. Some of them you can notice, like this one right here, see the little random balls up in the tree? That's a male tree. This one right here doesn't have that so much. It's a female cypress tree. A little bit about the vegetation on the top of the water. The little green pellets that you see floating around, it's called duckweed. You look at it close, actually got 3 little bitty leaves on it. The smallest flowering plant known to exist in the world. This other stuff, some you see toward the right side of my boat is going to be dead. Toward the left, still alive. It's called water hyacinth. It's a native lily species out of China. super duper invasive. We have to spray it probably about 4 times a year to keep it under control. If not, it would totally take up all the surface area of the top side of the lake and make it unpassable. Underneath the water level, it's a fern native to Australia. They use it in aquariums and fish tanks. It's called freshwater hydrilla. Now, in order to keep that under control, we stock the lake with sterilized Asian carp that feed on this. That is
Water
also
lilies.
an invasive
Lily.
species
Lilies.
of
lilies.
grass or whatnot that gets really out of control. You're gonna hear me cleaning it out periodically out of the backside of the boat. You'll notice there's not too many mosquitoes in the swamp. That's why I love my job. And the tree responsible for that, if you look at on the bottom of the cypress, they're going to have pleated type skirt bell-bottom looks to where they real jumbled or whatever, like a Cajun or whatever. Those are all cypress. This one right here is to the right-hand side of my boat, and the one behind that, and the other one with the smooth bottoms, it's all called Tupelo gum trees. We call them gumball trees, but they last, their life cycles anywhere from 60 to 80 years. And what they do is they exude a tantric acid or like a sappy substance, kind of like a pine tree, if you will. And when it hits the top surface level of the water, it disperses, acting like a natural citronella, keeping the mosquitoes virtually out of the swamp. They are in here, but it's kind of like they're discombobulated at majority of the times. They'll fly around, they won't really bite you, they'll just buzz like they're confused. There's a little turtle right here on this log at about 1 o'clock. They call them yellow bellies because they got a big yellow belly. Or the pet store sells them as red-eared sliders. That's all that is. Very prevalent in here.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go off in the distance right here at about 10 o'clock. There's a great white egret.
Gators here or?
Gators?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. There are definitely gators. That they are.
What are the chances you're going to see?
Majority of the ones you're going to see on this side are going to be smaller. Yeah, you're going to see more or less smaller gators on this end. This is the south side of the lake. A lot of the gators will build their nest and mate and, you know.
It's green, huh? It's really green.
Birth their young on this end. So down here we're at about sea level in elevation in South Louisiana. So all these cypress trees are going to typically grow on average to be about the same general height because of the gravitational pullback and the force pulling down on them. So what they do after they reach that height max is they start hollowing out at the core and displacing growth and girth to the outside of that tree. If you look right here to the right-hand corner of my boat, you're going to see how this tree right here has a cavity on the inside of it. It's hollowed out. Precisely what I'm talking about. Nothing wrong with that tree. That's just how the cypress tree grows. Fishing is phenomenal in this lake.
What are you catching here?
Plenty of bass, anything you can imagine, or if you ever heard of being in a freshwater environment, we have down here in South Louisiana. Catching bass, we call sac-a-lait, most people call white perch, crappie, chickapin, gorefish.
cae.
No, al agua no.
Me parece salsa verde.
Swamp is a lot more dense and concentrated with trees on the south side. I'm gonna notice when we get on the north side in a minute, it's a lot more wide open. There's a baby gator on that log back there.
Oh, mira.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny.
No, baby.
About a 2-year-old gator. Our gators mate. They start mating in February, March, April, and May. Here's another one, I believe, on this log right off the front side of my boat. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like his mouth may be open. But the swamp can fool you sometimes. That might not even be a gator. I don't know.
They're eating it.
Yeah, that's a gator. Yeah. Yeah. That's another baby gator. Just getting y'all warmed up. This is the...
Yeah, slow down.
You see how it's got the yellow colors on his back, on his tail?
Yeah.
And a lot of the yellow coloration
real?
on the body. Oh yeah, it's definitely real.
No lo retardé.
Still,
Oh, me quedé.
it's still immature. It's still an immature gator. If y'all look over here at 1 o'clock, there's a whole clique of turtles out about 40 yards back. So our gators mate February, March, April, and May. During the month of May, they'll start building their nests on higher elevated plains, like on this side of the lake and stuff, where there's dirt for them to get out the water. They'll use decomposing vegetation, and they'll just build their nest, and they'll kind of let it sit for a couple of months. The month of July, they come back to where they created their nest. They'll open it up, drop 30 to 60 eggs, close it back, and it acts like a natural incubation chamber for these eggs. Now they take anywhere from 50 to 53 days to hatch, and they hatch throughout the month of September. Now, as soon as all these gator babies hatch, the mother's going to be in close proximity of all these gators for about the first 8 months to the first year in order to help them survive. Because out here in the wild, the birds and other gators and just any and everything would try to eat them. So you figure you got one gator laying 30 to 60 eggs. It takes about 5 to 6 years for that gator to reach maturity to where it starts mating. And out of all those eggs that she hatches, only 3 on average of those gators are going to live to see maturity.
How many hatch?
They lay anywhere from 30 to 60. So
What's the lifespan of the alligator?
gators can live anywhere from 90 to about 110 years in age. I've always thought it was longer than that, but there's another little turtle right there. I thought it was longer than that because they look so dinosauristic, but it's not really the
They
case.
do.
And believe it or not, we do have
Look at
quite
that tree.
a few thousand gators in
Look at that
just
tree.
this part of the swamp. Throughout Louisiana, they say that there's over 1 million gators just throughout the state of Louisiana. Cypress tree is also our state tree here in Louisiana. It's a protected species tree. You can't harvest them, harm them, or anything of that nature. And every 4 to 5 years, they'll come in, they'll drop the level of the lake, expose the mud flats on the outer line perimeter of the edge of the lake in order for these cypress trees to produce new growth. Once that happens and they germinate trees, they'll start gradually raising the water table. Now look right here in this cypress knee, there's a big beehive. Anybody allergic to bees?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They're sugar
Right
bees
there.
though. They make sugar. They don't stink. As long as you don't bump the knee with the bug, they don't stink. There's a gator out in the front of the boat on that log. Another little gator. Now every year, until they reach maturity at a 6-year age mark, they got to grow on average about a foot a year. So
Where is he?
that gator's typically about 6 foot before it starts mating and stuff like that. And once it hits that age bracket, that time frame,
Over there.
whenever you really start seeing the changeover, like that gator still has a lot of yellow coloration on it. So whenever it's about 6 years old, it's almost totally like a blackish or a dark color. It don't have much of that yellow discoloration to it anymore. And then after that point, it all depends on their ecosystem that they're living in and the environment they're feeding on.
What's the difference between a gator and a croc?
A gator has a wider head and a more blunt, rounded snout. A crocodile has a more narrow head and a longer, pointed snout. And their legs are longer. They stand higher. They're a lot longer and narrower.
Do they
A
live
gator's
together?
going to be shorter and wider.
Do they live together here?
No.
You have
Alligators
no-
do freshwater. Crocodiles do saltwater.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
All right, if y'all look, coming up on 3 o'clock, right here to the right-hand side of the boat, not this tree, the one behind that, the bigger one. A couple of years ago, we found and figured out that that was the largest cypress tree in the swamp. So we had a crew come in, they bored a hole in the base of it, ran a microscopic camera in it, counted the range.
Which one? This one?
Yes, ma'am, that one right there.
Oh.
They determined that the tree is over 500 years old.
Wow.
And get this, she is a female.
Oh.
But turn the boat. I'll shut it down and let y'all move around.
Big. It's free. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, pretty. Dad, someone take care of
Maybe
them?
like some teenagers.
There you go. There he goes. There he goes.
Yeah, because they both borderline mature. Cutting in on your time, my blue.
Florida we got much longer.
Oh, I missed this video. Here's a gator.